Hello story lovers, and welcome. Today we're diving into a magical tale from long ago, a story about a poor fisherman, his wife, and a very special fish. Once upon a time, by the edge of the sparkling blue sea, lived a kind fisherman and his wife in a tiny, rickety wooden hut. Every single day, the fisherman would go down to the shore, cast his net into the shimmering water, and hope to catch enough fish to buy a little bit of food. One bright morning, as he pulled in his net, he felt a strange, heavy weight. He pulled, and when he finally lifted it out of the water, he gasped. Inside his net wasn't a regular fish. It was a magnificent golden fish, shining as brightly as the sun itself. But this was no ordinary golden fish. "I am a magic fish," it said in a clear voice. "Please, kind fisherman, let me go, and in return I will grant you a wish. Anything your heart desires." The fisherman was a simple, kind-hearted man. He looked at the beautiful fish and smiled. "I don't need anything," he said gently. "You deserve to be free." And with that, he carefully placed the golden fish back into the sea, watching it swim away into the deep blue. When he returned home to their little hut, he told his wife what had happened. She couldn't believe it. "A magic fish, and you let it go," she cried. "You foolish man. You should have wished for something. We live in this awful hut. Go back and wish for a new house." The fisherman didn't want to, but his wife insisted. So he walked back to the shore. The sea had changed. The once sparkling blue waves were now a restless, murky green. He called out over the water, "Flounder, flounder in the sea, come, I pray thee, unto me. For my wife Ilspill wants not as I want, and she has sent me insolenti." The golden fish appeared from the waves. It listened patiently as the fisherman explained his wife's wish. In the blink of an eye, the fish granted it. When the fisherman turned to go home, he was amazed. Their tiny, rickety hut was gone. In its place stood a beautiful, sturdy cottage with a lovely garden full of colorful flowers. His wife was standing at the door, beaming with joy. She was happy, but only for a little while. A few weeks later, she looked around the cottage and frowned. "This house is too small for me," she declared. "A castle would be much better. Go back to the fish and tell him I want to live in a grand stone castle." The fisherman sighed. "My dear, this is more than enough. Let's be happy with what we have." But his wife would not listen. Reluctantly, the fisherman went back to the sea. This time, the water was even darker, a deep, gloomy gray. The waves churned, and the sky was filled with stormy clouds. He called out his rhyme again, and the magic fish appeared. Once more, it granted the wish. When he returned, he could hardly believe his eyes. The cottage was gone, and in its place stood a gigantic castle with tall, pointy towers and floors so shiny he could see his reflection in them. His wife was inside, surrounded by servants, but her heart was still not content. It still wanted more. Soon she called for him again. A castle is not enough. I want to be the queen of this whole land. The fisherman begged her to stop. This is too much to ask. The fish will get angry. But she refused to listen. So the poor fisherman trudged back to the sea. The water was now black and roaring. The wind howled, the clouds rolled in, and lightning flashed across the dark sky. He shouted his call over the storm. The golden fish appeared, looking sad, but it granted the wish. When the fisherman came back, his wife was sitting on a massive golden throne, wearing a heavy crown of jewels. She was the queen, but was she satisfied? No. The very next morning she woke him up, her eyes gleaming with a new desire. I am queen, but the sun and the moon do not obey me. I want to be the ruler of the sun and the moon. I want to control day and night. The fisherman trembled with fear. That is impossible. Only the universe can do that, he whispered. But she became furious and pushed him out the door, demanding he go to the sea one last time. The ocean was in a terrifying rage. The waves crashed like thunder, and the sky was a swirling vortex of black and purple. The fisherman, with a shaking voice, called for the golden fish again. He told the fish his wife's final greedy wish. But this time the fish simply looked at him, turned, and disappeared into the raging water without a word. The fisherman's heart sank. He slowly turned and walked home, dreading what he would find. And when he arrived, the grand castle had vanished. The throne was gone. The golden crown had disappeared. Everything was gone. They were back in their tiny old wooden hut by the sea, just as they had been at the very beginning. His wife sat on the floor, finally understanding. They had everything, and in their greed, they lost it all. The wife had learned a very important lesson that day. To be grateful for what you have, because wanting more and more can lead you to have nothing at all. And from that day on, the fisherman and his wife lived more simply, and, believe it or not, more happily than ever before. Thank you for joining our story time today. Remember to be thankful for all the wonderful things in your life. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more magical stories. See you next time.